I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did I say that right? This comes out of your mouth.
Well, good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, May 27th. All three commissioners and Miranda are here this morning. And if you're gonna be on, you have to have video on Zoom. We'll go ahead and go right into the board of minutes.
I make a motion that we accept the board minutes for May 20th, 2025.
Second it.
Public comment. Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Alrighty. The first one's from Brad Learman on the outflows. We can talk about this one when we talk about the dam, or it says sites or not. And then the next one from Ben Grass, and this is on that Pintler Classic 2025. This is for that bicycle race they have. They had it last year. They've received all their MDT permits. And it's Friday, July 11th towards Gold Creek, and then the road race will be out of Phillipsburg on July 12th, as it was last year.
So what did they do, the loop or something for the race?
Yeah, this is that one, and perhaps the single greatest way in which the commissioners could help us would be to ask the county road department to grade and compact Rock Creek Road in the week or the two leading up to the race. I am told by the Ranch of Rock Creek that it is typically graded in the first week and it's July. Well, it all depends on weather and where they're at. I mean, we told them last year, same thing, and then we did it, and then they were upset that we did.
Right.
They get as is. I don't know how else you put it.
I know I had issues with them last year, blocking gates with their little camps and stuff, and wouldn't move, and they're a pain.
And they're supposed to get a hold of the sheriff and that, let everybody know too, but I had a lot of complaints last year.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, everyone has to change their schedule for moving cows down the road. I agree.
And then they bladed and put some mag out there, and then they were all upset because it was too loose. And
Too nice.
one of them, they probably could find a better place to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one's from Laura Hackey. It's on the Cyber Montana is hitting the road, and we're beginning the free cyber security clinic to Phillipsburg on Wednesday, the 11th. Do we? Next one's from Lee Tangill. I was sorry, say it wrong. Tangill. This is the one that I think we all got this, and they talked to Cameron Razor, and there's about Lakeshore Road. Making sure we're watching the dam.
Well, it looks to me like this is actually a very nice letter to the commission proving what we're doing and making sure that we're managing Lakeshore Drive.
Yep.
So it's nice to get a nice letter, and I think it's tangible or something.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
The next one's from MDT, Montana Department of Transportation. telling us that they're gonna install cattle guards on I-90 on and off ramps out there by that, all that new elk fence they're putting in. We don't have nothing out there, that's all in the states, right? But they're just giving us heads up on this, just an information.
Yeah, I went to Deer Lodge the other day, they got a lot of that post mounted up.
And this came in at the meeting after we just, yeah, this one from Rick McGill last week. We got it right at the very end. This is on the maintenance on East Fork Road. It was kind of pretty much saying the same as that other guy said. And they're gonna soon, they're gonna try to fix some of that is what, Paul said.
So, right out.
Yeah, the gist of this is you can't do anything this early because it just turns to a mud hole.
Yeah.
And they live out there, they know that, cause I know that, Chuck complained about it all the time, cause it's maybe he wanted more pavement further out, I don't know, I can't remember.
And then now they're working on the dam out there, so yeah, there is more traffic and bigger trucks are moving, but we can't really, I mean.
Yeah.
And Paul was gonna call Rick, I don't know, make sure he gets hold of him. I don't know if he did. And the next one's from Ashley Todd. Oh no, percent passing from Daniel Reddish on the mayor. And he's,
He'll be in.
he'll be in, we'll just talk about this when he comes in, this is about the sewer stuff. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And that's all we have for correspondence. I don't think there's nothing we need to put on the agenda right now. Cause we'll talk to Brad Lehrman and Dan Reddish so that we don't have to get that took care of.
I think Brad's out this week.
Yeah, or
That.
Alex or whatever. Is there any public comment on correspondence? See?
The branch. Goes back.
We'll go ahead and open up for public comment. There's a few people been calling and asking about that mag, and I said, well, we gotta get our roads done first. And then if we do it, Paul will look and see and get a price, and they have to pay up front before we ever do it.
Cause didn't we do it before and they didn't pay for it?
Yeah, then we gotta chase the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll have time, cause it's just, I mean, they got their golf done, multi done, and now they're coming back this way. They were gonna start on that Dunkelberg Road today, but. Yeah. That looks good what they've done. I was gonna ask them to remind me to see how much gravel we've used so far, just so we don't want a big overrun either. Is there any public comment?
Can I leave this up here? Yeah, I did, with my writing. Or is this, did I give this to, no? Is this
Yeah, you
yours?
stuck it and gave it to me, but
Oh,
you can have it and you.
Yeah, I need to scratch that. I'm gonna keep track of,
They're back there.
your
Your road on ones.
Just bring up,
yeah,
I got one too, my number.
okay, we've had,
I saved them.
we've had one thumbs down. THUM,
Yeah, CHUMB.
P, I did, I have a P. Looks like funk though.
The
Yeah. Okay.
Or
Oh, there's some more. There's two. Two thumbs down. There's some more, Lena. We like them. That's considered disruptive.
What?
oh no, I got
Or
hearts.
emojis.
I just got hearts, so.
yeah.
So we've addressed that in the certified letter.
Weird.
Just facts.
Meditation. Call me meditation.
I wonder if we shouldn't try to get a hold of Lolo National Forest. I heard they were gonna do some blading down that way, and I think we need to talk to them, we'll just kind of get an update how far and what they're gonna do. Cause down on some of that where we turn around, I actually heard they're gonna do some work, but I don't. We haven't talked to them for at least 2 years, 3 years. Since
Yeah.
since Hackman left, so he used to always come in.
The only turnaround right there at that Rose Loop or whatever down that subdivision, that's the end right there, right by Winnie Hoff's cabin.
Yep. But if they're gonna do a bunch of work and that, maybe they could blade some of that down there too, just work together. I just heard they're gonna do some more on this where they're hauling gravel or something different, compact or something.
Oh, I gotta hit a couple other spots or something.
But yeah, if we can try to get a hold, I don't even know who's in charge anymore, it changed hands, I think twice now.
Yeah, it's different Ranger now, isn't it?
Yeah. But we can try to get a hold of somebody down there.
You said Lolo?
Yep. He comes out of the Missoula office.
Okay.
So did they do a contract like this one does with us?
We used to just be pretty much a handshake, but when the guy that was here, he just come in and tell us we was all, but we haven't done a contract with them for it. Be kinda nice to know just what's going on. What their plans are and stuff.
Now, speaking of Forest Service, did Cameron already get started on Lake Shore yet or not? That's just what he said they were gonna do, it's just it's still out a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take them a while before they get started, 'cause they gotta go through that whole,
Yeah,
get everything approved. I thought he might give us, these guys are all talking to him, but we haven't heard nothing from him.
What do you say, June 2nd, I think? Was gonna start the work,
Razor,
I think so, in that email.
yeah, I can't
I
remember,
think it was June 2nd.
but you got good memory.
Oh, well, that,
Well, today is,
right?
I'm off, I was thinking it was Monday, I guess, huh?
Right,
Long weekend.
kids go to school on Friday this week.
Yeah,
Jake asked me this morning, I'm like, I don't know.
yep, normal day. So graduates kindergarten on Friday.
So they graduate eighth grade in the day.
They did. Oh, graduations. Yeah.
Is there any public comment? I need to get the elevator guy on too, so we get an update. I mentioned it to him out there. He said he's gonna have, what's her name, get a hold of you, but,
They're on today.
okay.
The
All
whole-
right, I was thinking it was that other.
Oh, the company? Yeah, I don't know, it should be Brooke and Ryan today, I would assume. And maybe Slate. Um. Yeah, that's my head. Yeah.
Okay, since there's no public comment, we'll go ahead into weekly report with Road and Bridge Superintendent Paul, which isn't here today. He come in just 15-20 minutes ago and told us it had to be on the Dunkelberg Road. They're trying to figure out where
Where the,
all the cables, gas line,
they have gas guys that go out and mark them.
they're all there.
Oh, they're all out there.
They're having a really hard time. Quite a few years ago, when they redid that whole road, they hit some stuff and then they got that major gas line that comes all the way through the big one. Yeah, so. And they're done in Beardos, they made that, looks good. We've had a couple people call and said they got it too much on there, they got it on their cars.
So takes a while to dry.
Mhm. And they're done with Mulkey, they might make the bottom of that, that bottom part to see if they fold it.
So does Paul have a schedule on where he blades or where he gravels or is it just,
It kind of moves to see whether it's how wet he's on them now. Yeah, not.
well, because you look at Aerostone, what is it? Not Aerostone. What's Mr. McGill? Where's he at?
Oh, it's work.
East Fortville.
Lost Sapphire 3. Right? His, asking because it's spring and it's muddy and it's icky,
Ricky Gill talking about East Fork Road.
Yeah,
Down
sounds right.
that. Did he talk with Paul?
I told them to get a hold of them, but I don't know. And then plus they're holding off on doing some of that, cause they gotta redo a whole bunch of that Blackwood does, so they don't wanna go out and spend a whole bunch, throw stuff down, and they come, you know, so.
Tear it up.
They were all together down lower, this crew and that crew. Seemed like they had two belly dumps, two dump trucks running and a blade and a roller. Went right along.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems like we can do a pretty good job with it by ourselves.
We don't have no
Contractors.
choice. Right? I don't know nothing on solid waste.
Closed today.
Yeah, just up here. They're
All
all,
of this up here.
they don't have nobody. You know, we got this, we know what it is. Okay, you live down and get back then?
I don't think, not full time yet.
Never use it. Anybody know if this Amber's been growing?
Thought I saw it here last week, heading out, Rockford, man, I was on, it was heading out, when I was coming into town. I don't know if it was ours or Grumman's or.
He was in that office last week and he's trying to figure out the budget and how he even uses it. There's, sounds like there's some confusion on his end too, but he's not back full time.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think he'll be on a June agenda. I think we're gonna do later June. We'll get him in here when he's back.
Yeah, they gotta get that budget figured out. We keep spending and not coming in, we can't.
Can't be doing that.
And Blackfoot's not coming in either, right? Or we can go off, since we have, is there any public comment on road and bridge or solid waste? And Blackfoot Communications is not coming in, so we'll come back on at 9:40.
Up on the claim property. Roger got a bunch of them, some kind of beetle.
Oh, yeah, the zebra beetles are,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're not up there, but I guess it takes 2 or 3 years before you even see them.
Well, and then the bad thing is, like, they'll get down the road, that's where they lay their egg for water to eat some, but if we don't get a good snow covering, they die from the frost, it'll kill them. I tried it a couple times.
Well, we're back on now and Paul Talon's in here. We'll go ahead and jump into the damn tenders. Is there any public comment on Blackfoot or road? Being done, we'll go ahead and jump into the damn tenders report. It's at 6429.09, 4.92 below full, and we're releasing 4. Guess on the recommendation. Attorney Blaine Bradshaw just joined us.
How's it going? Good.
We're just started on the damn tenders.
Oh, okay, alright,
My Brad Lehrman's on vacation, won't be here, but.
yeah, he had a, there was an email from him, you see that?
Yep.
So I'd entertain a motion on what you think we should do.
I motioned to have it turned down to 35 CFS and still keep monitoring. We have a big influx with the 80-degree temperatures coming this week, that maybe bump it back up to 40 if need be.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that. I was just thinking, should it go to 30 maybe, or do we need to keep it at 35?
Well, now.
Get it full.
Yeah, I think 35, we're still gonna get it there. I do, it just.
Cause 30 is what we're supposed to have it at now, right?
For irrigation season, yeah,
But we're pretty much matching, you know, it hasn't moved.
yeah, the agencies haven't had a problem matching.
What's your comment? I can't,
Peter, I think, wasn't it?
I get mixed up which one.
Peter. That's Peter Brown.
Do you have a comment, Peter? I don't know what he's pointing.
Yep, sorry, I was on mute. No, our take on it, yeah, 30, 35 would be great. Our take is that there isn't much snow up high, and yeah, starting to match inflows and outflows is always a great idea, so.
Okay, so we'll go down to 35.
Can I second that?
Yeah, we second.
Yeah. All in favor?
I,
Thanks, Paul, for
Sound
that.
good?
Paul. Thanks, Peter, appreciate it.
Yep.
You know,
Take care.
I need to learn to get along with my wife.
Oh.
Kids, you know.
yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
You guys
Have a good one.
Hey, thanks, Paul, appreciate it.
he had a graduate this year.
Yeah. He's gonna be an empty nester. She's going to, yeah, Olympic College to play volleyball. That's right, Seattle, right in Seattle, or?
Outside is,
Say, oh, yeah.
south of Seattle is Olympia and all the corner.
Oh, in Olympia, okay.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
it's gotta be down by.
Good point,
yeah,
good
Lincoln.
point.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's right in Seattle. I don't know.
Yeah, close, and
I can't remember, I was talking to her about it Saturday or Sunday.
she got a scholarship,
Yeah,
right, so yeah.
pretty good volleyball player.
Yeah, good outfit.
Good setter.
It handed it to me. So you could have handed it to me,
Sorry.
but you need to get it
Like they gave steps in.
Yeah, 4 steps, oh, it's
Yeah.
two in there, maybe 8.
Wow.
picking on me already?
No, no, you're getting your step, I can't.
I like, yeah, the remark of being tired.
So Blackfoot, we're trying for next.
I guess,
You
yeah.
never got back to me when I asked about next week, but
Well, shoot, the third, I guess.
Is Linda joining us? Is Linda joining us for the FEMA? thing?
if not, I'll answer it, you know.
What I brought up to him guys about Blackwood, the county's already spraying a bunch of it, because you know, they're spraying
Yeah.
sideways in that road.
So have them keep track of
I
it,
guess you gotta get a hold of Ben and let him know, because
yeah,
the weeds are really starting to come where they haven't hit yet.
yeah,
It's, they're coming, people are complaining, so.
have them keep track of the areas that they're doing their Blackfoot's responsibility.
Give mine, I'll run down, tell Ben,
Yeah.
or maybe we can shoot him an email to Ben and just tell him, make sure to keep tabs on it.
They
Right?
have,
Okay.
Ben talk to Paul or see which areas or,
Yeah, I mean, they're already hitting stuff that it's the kind of, they got a course
Yeah.
already set up, so. It is. Blackwood should have brought us something showing us what they're gonna do and that, the grass seed and then spray and I
It's-
just don't understand.
they said they'd get with Paul and get a plan with Paul, get a plan.
You haven't got,
Ghost town.
it's time, I mean, it's. I know they're busy too, but when you get the calls all the time,
I know there's a lot of frustration with their subcontractor.
We're gonna get paid.
no. At the end of the month, which is supposed to happen.
Right.
That's what the
Right,
kids
yeah,
say.
right at the end of the month.
That's what they keep saying, I mean. I'm good.
Monday.
I mean, there's still rock.
I see are they going up Douglas today, was that them?
I've never seen.
And then along Highway 1, they still haven't finished that off.
Well, still all the Taylor.
Yeah.
In the right
Yeah.
away. See right away.
I don't know what's the delay on that, I mean, but, no, the ground's rocky right there, but.
Well, then there was Blackfoot trucks heading out Rockford this morning. I was like, I hope they had all that done from last year.
Well, they messed, is that where
I
some
think they
stuff
messed
was-
up something out there too, something. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think, you hear it.
that was a nice graduation, it was full house.
boy, that was a
Yeah.
packed house.
I've
Yeah, I've never
seen it on that video Sarah showed me.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Eric Pitcher gave a good speech,
Mhm.
Joe Walden.
what was that hat you had on last week there? Your golf hat?
Actually, we walked in, I got gas, we were in Dillon. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But I have the background, you can't tell where I'm at.
Alright.
Yeah.
How do you
They
do
thought you had
that?
a sling on.
So, Zoom's pretty slick, you can, yeah, it took me a while, so I had to take a picture of my home office and then I just, save that as the
How do
background.
you even just like blur the background?
Yeah, there's an
There's
option,
an
yeah,
option.
yeah,
Mhm.
if we get into Zoom sometime,
Yeah,
but-
How does it work again?
It's, to me, it's trial and error, you just have to,
Start
have to
pushing
click it,
buttons.
yeah.
Yeah, like, can let us commissioner just do that, take a picture and
Yeah.
put it up.
Alrighty, we'll move ahead, it's 9:45, we'll go into the FEMA floodplain letter. On May 20th, we had it, and we went over it, you wanna give it a full update? Or-
Yeah, so basically, I mean, there's a little bit of a nasty gram saying, get things done, but we've been working on it. So we gave a time deadline, it was 30 days. Linda has been working on that draft of the regulations, you have to adopt new ones. So it's going back and forth, they're looking at the latest version right now, and I drafted a resolution that would adopt them. Just a draft resolution, so again, FEMA and DNRC are looking at it, so once they approve it, then it could be, have a public hearing and the commission can look at it. I don't think anything's substantially different from the existing floodplain regulations, but
Yeah, and this letter here said not much has changed.
Yeah.
From the original.
These regs though, I mean, are. Thick,
Not getting as bad as the other ones.
yeah, and it's required or they won't, they'll drop the federal flood insurance program. So. It's, yeah, strings are always attached.
Yeah.
Is there any public comment on this?
So what, yeah, I just need to notice 2 weeks on paper. Work with, I think I got the notice, maybe.
Yeah.
Good point.
It says decision, doesn't it? So do we need to
I
come up with anything?
I don't know if you need a motion because we're have it in the works, but I think it'll just be we'll get the regs to you in the resolution to the commission so you guys can set a public hearing.
All right.
Sound good?
Thanks.
You said it was cooler in Phillipsburg for graduation. The drum was hot.
Yeah.
Did you go to the lake yesterday? Is that you?
Yeah.
Out there?
Yeah, so I bought Larry Palmer's boat. It's nice, 2001 Bayliner.
Oh,
It's running good. So Bodie got up skiing for the first time.
oh, that's great.
Yeah, he could cross the way. He just had to stay behind the boat for right now, but yeah.
Was the water cold?
Yeah. I didn't get it. I have a wetsuit, yeah, so yeah, wear the wetsuit, but he didn't wear it.
I would have worn less.
Yeah,
Bears, they're pretty darn near ice on the edges.
yeah, there's some other people, one other person tubing, I think, is went up after the dinner, so.
We went to
5
the
to 7.
Gates or Mountain Saturday fishing, and the water was cold, it was beautiful. I didn't know rattlesnake could swim that good. It was a big, I mean, it looked fat.
Yeah.
And a straight shot across the Missouri River, from one side to the other. Never even, just,
You guys catching walleye?
I know walleye, we caught 32 rainbows, from a pound to 5 pounds. It's really, they're big ones.
Yeah.
Is it all catch and release or?
No, you can keep it certain style.
Oh,
You just, it's easier to just throw them back. Nobody's gonna monkey around clean them.
yeah, some more.
I don't really like fish planes.
I like walleye. I don't really care for trout.
Yeah.
I work on the walleye.
Yeah.
Play
Is
that.
walleye big in there?
There's some big ones there.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really, there's weird, like what size, I think
Oh, yeah.
like 218 or something out of there. Can't really get weird.
I got all there, pretty tight.
They said it's better night fishing for walleye to feed at night.
Oh, what do they go for?
Fish,
Oh,
they're predatory.
alright,
We just use wedding bells, they call them, I guess. We go up and then the river bring us back down across there. Just on the bottom.
okay,
It was
there's a
fun.
lot of people there.
Yeah, there was one, we got off about 2 o'clock and there was packed in, people coming.
I thought Georgetown would be more packed, man.
Is there any other public comment on the FEMA floodplain letter? Not, we'll go ahead and move into the new light for the flagpole in the courthouse yard. Yes.
Is there a light already there or do we
I
have to
never
wire
did
it when
go
you-
back, I bad.
I think there's
I didn't
solar
go
ones.
There's, yeah, I don't know if there's one yet, but yeah, they do have solar ones attached to poles.
Yeah.
They're pretty slick, not the Amazon or wherever, are pretty reasonably priced.
So yeah, I think if that were the case, would last all night.
Yeah.
Or pull a flag up and down, what the hell?
Other than yeah, don't get much sun one day, but I think most days it gets enough.
I think it's
sun.
good, I mean, even on
Yeah.
cloudy days,
You
you'll pick
get
up
the-
the UV.
Yeah,
Oh, my, yeah.
They have one, I think, at the cemetery, bank,
A solar one.
solar, yeah, it attaches to a product.
Or the city probably have one for a big flag, or is that actually?
It's, they've got three on the ground and wired, yeah.
Are they
Yeah,
wired?
the-
ones?
Drummond Chamber has the, oh, well, the lead railroad leads something, but.
Lights it up good though.
Yeah, well, the halogen one got so hot, they broke the glass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Larry Palmer put in some LED and it lights up the flag.
Do we need to have, the janitor come in and talk to him about this, or do we just, if we all agree on it, make a motion to put lights on
Who do you want to order it?
Well, you can guys look at it.
I can work with,
Or
Yeah,
is it something that needs a motion because it's just like maintenance of property?
it?
or-
Yeah, we need to do a
Yeah,
motion,
it's-
it's just kinda looking at us, go
Yeah.
ahead, if we're gonna do it.
I think it's a good idea.
I'm good.
Yeah, I do too. They're gonna leave the flag up.
Just,
I think it's cool.
Have people leaving the flag up?
I think
Have the light?
legally, it's gotta be up.
Yep.
Before sunrise or taken down before
Yep.
sundown, so.
and she's been taking it up and down.
We can work on something else, ain't gonna cost that much to run.
No, it shouldn't.
Right. But I mean, sure, probably like 40, 50 bucks for a lights or something.
Yeah, just go ahead and do it. It's cool when you come driving,
Probably.
especially when it's snowing and that. and
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's pretty cool.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you're gonna look for one or
For
you're
the
gonna
flag.
ask?
yeah, and I can work with Dawn and Janine while she's still here this week and see what we
Okay.
need.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, and here's one for. Actually has a little solar square, $34.99.
Yeah,
Like a LED light.
I definitely get an LED.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They last
Yeah,
longer.
it's pretty, those from Drummond are pretty bright LEDs
Yeah.
on them.
they need to be decent ones, I would.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, $34.99 is probably too cheap, but
Right.
Right.
something like that with a,
Person's gonna do it right.
Oh, yeah.
On this next agenda item, Lane, is there something that you wanted to update us, is it
it's a pretty slick one now.
Oh, yeah, well, that's cool.
Hey, Blake, how's it going?
Is Dan already coming up?
No,
What's the agenda item?
Class action
Class action.
at 10:15?
Oh,
Purdue.
yeah, I need to, so they're wanting us to, well, background on that, there was the class action suit, the local governments can join up, it's already over, but, and we've gotten some fund, it's limited funds there, but, they want to know if the county agrees with them filing this, Purdue Pharma, basically a reorganization, chapter 13 bankruptcy. So, I need to look into that issue a little better, whatever, but my assumption is it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, allows them to keep going. So, I need to go print that and bring it down.
There you go. We got time.
Let's do,
We got time.
tourist season
Yeah, it is.
and false alarms and fireworks in the middle of rainstorm.
Really?
Mhm.
Huh. What's he doing?
Bringing down
The paperwork on the.
a little more info.
Beat you here. I'll put it on the next page. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're not confirmed it. That's almost.
Yeah, what do you think?
About what, life in general?
Yeah, frustrating, but
Life is good.
kind of knocks you in the dirt. Knocks you in the dirt. You're kind of depressed. Shit like that, and move hard, you're tired. Have something nice, and then
Yeah.
when you just get through
Yeah,
in the bus.
yeah. Cause it's, yeah. Oh, shit.
It is. Did you ever get that stuff from Matt Pierce?
No, cause I never followed through.
Would you?
Yeah, keep reminding me,
Morning, how's it going?
cause it's probably getting, I know,
This is the information from Purdue Pharma. Basically, this is, for me to sign saying that I'm attorney for the county. And then, later on, I think you guys can make a decision on. It's not the,
Is this something we gotta make a motion on that you go ahead and follow through with it then, or is this?
yeah, you can,
You
do a
think,
motion, I can sign this and send it back to them, that I'm representing the county.
I just have a hard time understanding all this, if
But,
you think
so,
it's worth following through on.
yeah, because we're part of it. You know, this was originally that, Purdue was sued over their, marketing of, narcotics. Getting people, basically, yeah, on people to get addicted to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there are some monies are received or whatever. There's judgment
Yeah.
against them. So, yeah, this is direct, it says on here for me.
and we joined class action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of part of that.
So we joined it, whether it was just minimum or
But
non-existent more or
There,
less, and
we could check with Sarah, there's been some funds coming
Let's go ahead and entertain a motion if we wanna go ahead with this.
that Blaine is our attorney in fact, or what?
in. Yeah, I've been attorney can sign the documents, letting them know I'm your attorney.
You say that again.
We authorized Blaine Bradshaw to sign these, documents, court documents in the Purdue.
I'll make a motion to have the county, to authorize our county attorney, Blaine Bradshaw, to sign the court documents.
Just letting them, yeah, just
To be our,
notifying them that I'm
whatever,
representing you.
our person.
Yeah.
Get that.
I second.
Okay.
Probably comment on this. There goes Jim's blank.
Okay, that is Smiley.
No public comment, all in favor? Aye.
Or Laffy, Smiley or Laffy. I.
Thank you. I'll get it sent in and,
Thanks.
yeah.
Still disruptive.
All right, I know we're a little bit early, but the mayor, anyway, and Scott are here, I guess you might have come on up and we'll talk about this.
Sure.
Please state your name and stuff, Dan, please.
Yeah, my name is Mayor Daniel Reddish. I'd like to start by thanking the commissioners here this morning for a little time to chat for a couple different things. One of them is a little confusing, one of them is straightforward. So I'll just start with, I forwarded an email to Miranda, related to the dump, and I don't know if people said, okay, so you had an opportunity to look at that. I wanted to be clear, I'm not sure if there was a change recently with respect to the dump and dumping and what goes in there.
We, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple of years ago, we were getting all kinds of human waste in buckets and stuff, and we went against that, cause we don't expect our people to deal with stuff like that. And then Allied really complained about it too, so I don't know about these bags, I'm just speaking for myself, so.
Yeah, right.
And these bags, when we compact, they blow out and,
Right.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Actually, excuse me, a volume of literal human waste is unacceptable. That's what's happening here is, and let me, if you might, give me a couple of seconds here to sort of give you some context and backstory. And I'm gonna go back to COVID. When COVID was happening and everybody, was, when there was the great rush on toilet paper, people were purchasing things that should not have been flushed. Right, for example, and that's been a reoccurring theme for us, foreign material as we refer to it. There was over about a 6-week period, we had 3 sewer mains that clogged, literally. We had to dig them up, break into them. One of them had a cannonball sized t-shirt. And so you can imagine, and these wet wipes or what have you that says flushable. Well, they're not flushable. Okay, so what's happening here with the new plant is stuff comes through the channel, gets stopped. We're gonna have a screen inserted to make it a lot more efficient and economical waiting on that. That's the last outlier piece. But what we're talking about here are not actually, excuse my rough humor here, turds or anything like that. They're pieces and bits of foreign material. Not the least of which are feminine products that come through there. That again, that's the classic don't flush that gets flushed. And then there might be some undissolved toilet paper and an occasional piece of a rag or something like that. So when these things get scooped and put into a garbage bag, they're not like scooping literal
Right.
crap or turds out of there.
It's not human waste. is
No,
what you're
no,
saying.
no, it's just come through the water system into the sewer system and stop before it goes into the new stagnant system. So that's just material, it's bits and pieces. A lot of it is. Ordinarily, you would hope that the toilet paper itself is completely dissolved with water, but there's some bits and pieces of that. And this part of it is something that for the town, having this new sophisticated system, we're gonna have to keep on top of the maintenance with it because we don't want to screw up a $7 million plan. So it's just another higher level of consciousness with that and making sure we get these. And there is a lot of stuff in the past that was dealt with, and in the facultative lagoons, you could go to the outline there and there would be stuff floating in there. And that was literally stuff that should not have been. During COVID, the state called me and they said, how are you guys doing down there? And I said, hey, look, we're having some problems with broken sewer mains. You can forget about COVID. We could get old world disease here, typhus or something. So I had to reemphasize that for those folks. And I put out a public notice through the paper that said, do not flush the following products. Some of that stuff sinks in, some of it doesn't. So that's the long and short of it. They're not buckets or bags of poop. They're just bits and pieces of stuff that in.
So it isn't human waste.
Yeah, and it's stuff that people would normally, like a tampon or something, you would normally throw in the garbage. Sometimes that stuff gets flushed.
Been washed clean.
Yeah.
I just got it. I mean, I know it's not biohazard waste because it's just garbage, but
Yeah.
it was I just don't know the legality of, is that classified?
I think it can be done. We can check that out. I'll check it out. I think there's a distinction with that. are they putting, on the bags though, biohazard on the bags, or is that?
No, they're not marking them in any way, because
Okay,
it's just
yeah.
basically, pieces of plastic and little pieces of paper essentially. But you know, there's a fine mesh screen that'll get pregnant.
Collected,
Then
yeah.
it- like you can imagine.
Let me, yeah,
Yeah,
let me do some digging, but I think there is a distinction in that in human waste.
yeah, and I did, I'm by no means an expert, but I did
Yeah.
go through the DEQ stuff, and it certainly is not classified as toxic waste. You know,
Yeah.
there's a bio categorization there.
So it wouldn't even be biohazard. Cause it's just plastic and paper and,
And you talked about the disease element, but I think Allied takes that sort of stuff and they don't.
I didn't get any, they were kind of confused, I talked to those folks, too,
Were they?
they were like, well, not really, yeah, you know, it sounds normal. Right, like, you know, I always say, do you have trouble making up your mind? Well, yes and no, you know, so nobody wants to commit to anything. I don't think it's a huge, I wouldn't classify it as a huge problem in terms of disease or anything like that. This is the stuff that normally people would put in a garbage can.
Right,
And
yeah.
take the dump anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure since and our engineers, according to our engineers, they said, oh, for the time, no, that's fine, people do it all the time. I can understand, you know, maybe people don't pay attention and they abuse a situation like that, but that's certainly not us.
yeah, no, so did you know that this was gonna happen, that you were gonna?
Well,
Have
there was a conversation with the engineers, basically about residual, as they call it, that, and they said, oh, no, that can go to a common dump, because it isn't considered.
Yeah.
Whatever the technical term is. And I would hate like heck to have, trying to wrap this thing up and get it operational fully. We're at 95% operations right now. We're just waiting on the screen. And I suspect that, with a little more public encouragement, that maybe we can alter the consciousness there. I don't like to hang my hat on that stuff, but I do my level best to try to
Yeah.
inform people, you know, so.
Well, I guess too is, you know, I guess hopefully they don't abuse it. That's what I'm worried about, you know, once they hear, well, you know.
I don't think people's personalities are, like, whatever they're doing now, and in terms of suggesting that, well, maybe I shouldn't flush it, I'll flush it, it'll be easier or something. I don't know if it can affect that so much, necessarily, but what's coming through there is not too dissimilar that's coming out of a garbage can somewhere, right? Yeah.
What you're saying is that the human waste goes through and it filters the paper that
Yeah.
doesn't get dissolved in
Right.
the flushables that aren't really flushable.
Right, exactly.
So wipes aren't flushable, they say they are, but they're not.
I
Correct.
say they're,
Well, there's some wipes that say do not flush too, and
Yeah, they're trying.
They're just trying to distinguish, but they're not
but, you know,
really.
I just.
So and this isn't human waste, and I agree, it's regular garbage, and
Yeah.
it would be the same way you would dump your garbage.
Are you
From your street garbage, yeah.
Yeah.
When you have like the shirt clogged up,
Yeah.
can you trace it back or is it going?
You know,
to the main,
we-
you
we-
don't know where
we
it's coming
didn't-
from?
We could trace it back to a block, for instance.
Okay,
So I put a little bit more pressure on those guys, you
that
know,
block.
and that's just, you know, when you do this stuff, use an extreme example, but it was like a cannon. You know, and how the hell knows how they flushed it? That sort of stuff. But you know, that's just, what we experienced then. Now, it's nothing like that now.
Can't see how
But
they
people are still-
flushed it either.
we had a family reunion, someone did that at my brother's house, he has a pump, so it got grind.
Oh,
Took
yeah.
out his pump.
Oh,
Yeah, but made it something to the wall, going
Yeah,
down.
they're going into the pump.
Like,
I don't know.
like snowball.
It really is about people following directions.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a recovering Catholic and they had the nuns beaten in me by 12 years old. I knew I had to follow directions, so,
I guess
yeah.
to move on there, we'll just have to check with Ella and make sure we're all on the same page. I'm
Yeah,
still,
well-
I'll be true, I'm still a little hesitant about it, but I
Well-
mean, there's two others.
There'll be basic administrative rules that Allied has to follow, and I'll look that up too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And
Yeah,
then you do
my
that.
biggest deal is just to see if it had to be marked as or biohazard or whatever, since it was in with the sludge at one point. Just
I'll do some digging.
for
Yeah.
Allied, see if they'll take it or whatever.
Okay, that's good, then I'll just wait to hear from you, Lane or whatever.
Sounds good, all right.
One other thing, the library's been experiencing some flooding on in their building and because of the sidewalk there. It's very low and, you know, we looked about making curbs or whatever, but, that side of the intersection is obviously the state. And the state came in, they said, well, geez, we have to grind because it's really cramped up. We have to grind this all the way down to make it conventional anyway. One of the local builders who worked on the, schoolhouse for the daycare and stuff, got with the state, formed a bunch of estimates, and they said they'd be willing to waive this because of the specific location and the fact that our intersection is about half of what should normally be width-wise as an example. They said, yeah, if those folks on that block wanted to redo the sidewalks, we're fine with it. If they get a reputable contractor, which I would ensure that they would do that. So, there's estimate floating around for that section that's pretty compromised in front of the library. And the library, in my estimation, needs to do this, based on their time for the most part, and they're working on that. And I thought as a good faith effort that I would contribute $1,000 from town to get those guys rolling. I think it's about 19 grand to do it. And I was just here to ask if you guys would be willing to match that, since we kind of share a little bit of the responsibility for the library itself. I mean, if you're like, no, that's fine too, but I let them know that I would ask, you know.
The building itself is the county's.
Right. We want to obviously we want to minimize. I wish I could do more, but I can't. It's just that simple, you know, but I think that overall, the transfer from the town to the district and the involvement of the county with you folks and with us has been pretty good. Been pretty flawless. And when they originally decided to do this, they put out some surveys and I was pretty floored. I don't have the numbers at the top of my head about the amount of people from outside of town that use the library. So it's kind of like a more holistic approach. It's pretty high.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
So,
value.
Anyway, allow that park thing, Lawrence?
Transferring to the district. Why wouldn't we just transfer from, if we were going to give them to the town for the expense? Cause what reason are they charging the district when you're trying to get voluntary amount from the county?
But just the library needs to do it. It's on them to do the cost. The town is just, yeah, gonna help some. The county could, discretionary if you wanted to help. But yeah, I'd have to find the fund to do it.
The county owns the building.
Yeah, with it being a multi-jurisdictional library district, it had to be in either the county's name or the town.
Oh,
The way that the statute's set up.
Well, I'm just thinking as far as journal vouchering and as
Right.
far as a paper trail. It would be, means the town of Phillipsburg is the one that they're gonna donate. So are you gonna donate your money right to them and, or are you just gonna donate for the actual sidewalk? And then because you're the one that's that,
Yeah, it would be something more along those lines.
yeah,
In other words, yes, we'll commit to $1,000 pending you guys raising the money and coming to us and saying, yeah, we have a contractor lined out, we're all good to go. And then we would add it then, because this is just a gratis thing on my part. Those guys have spent a lot of time and energy, and you gotta take care of the building to a certain extent. And they're willing to pay the lion's share of it, obviously. The proof is in the pudding for me. They still have to figure out how to budget it and get together. So maybe this question is like, yeah, come back and show us that you got it and then we'll plug into it, I guess, is sort of, that was my outline.
Yeah.
But this would be the town direct to
Yeah,
the
direct,
district,
yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Kind of like that the other day, where I didn't understand, right? That, I'm sure it goes to what we're giving it to.
yeah,
Yeah, and the journal vouchering, obviously, it's all about that's the mechanics of what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah, that sounds easy, it's not a lot of money, but how do we score this?
Yeah.
And I can appreciate it. So, yeah.
Well, they'll be probably going out trying to get private donations
Yeah.
even
Yeah, I
and
think so.
everything,
Yeah.
so, Yeah, that's a good idea, making it conditional upon them having the
Yeah.
contract.
I think so, I myself, I don't wanna, like I said, I do the bare minimum, but I don't wanna spend a lot of time
Yeah.
grinding on this, or they've got some heavy lifting to do themselves.
Yeah.
However, I did go and look at it, and I said, yeah, we may be able to put in something, a little bit, you know, to show some good faith, and so, then, of course, when you say that, they're right back into it. Hey, remember that thing you said about that? And I'm like, wait a minute, let's back up here, give me the context, exactly what did I say? You know, remember that good faith? Yeah, so, anyway.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah,
with
they,
it.
and the one thing, they are their own district, they have their budget, they have their tax base, they need to be aware of that.
Yes.
If it's a burden to them, then I guess they can, if you're gonna donate, we can donate.
Yeah, as long as it goes to, you know what, goes to, like you say.
Okay, well, I guess what I would do then is I'll revisit those folks and figure out right away, like, how likely is this? You guys envision having the funds to do this? Because this is all on you,
Yeah,
except we're showing good faith by doing.
yeah, and the county's showing good faith, and it's coming not into their district funds, but from the county,
Sure,
is that?
Well, I think the county could donate directly to the district, so however you got, whatever fund you
Yeah,
guys wanted to use,
but-
but to that, specify to
Yeah,
that
just 'cause
project.
we're gonna-
Yeah.
Work with the town, don't you think?
Yeah.
And then you're donating, we will match the donation.
okay, that'd be great, and like I said, I'll get on this.
Is that,
At $1,000.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it. And that's it. And then again, it's just about, okay, we're all wellness together. We have our responsibilities, but it's, you know, there's been a lot of time and energy put into the thing. And it's proved to be even better than I thought it was. And I'm so happy that we didn't get involved in remodeling our office for those
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Turned out great.
It turned out really
Yeah.
good, you know, so anyway, and then I'll just come back and visit with you and say, it doesn't look like they're gonna do it, or yeah, it's developing. It looks like maybe by the end of the summer or something, like, I'll keep you apprised of the update, and we'll
Yeah.
figure out. Actually, pull it
They
through.
don't
That's
know
good.
what to take it out of once they get lined up.
yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that you guys can plan for in your budget process and.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, and my expectation is that you'll be seeing those folks, the library people, once the budget season kicks off and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're up quite a bit,
Yeah.
getting reports. Yeah,
Good.
so.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That's all I got here today, and I'll just wait, and you can get hold of me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, very good. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good
Is
day.
anyone running for mayor yet?
We're getting ready to find out.
I
Maybe you
know, I know
should.
who's not.
Okay. Good
I'm
job.
gonna have to clone it. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah,
See ya.
take care.
Yeah, for,
Yeah, he's not running, he's
the
retired.
reelection.
In June, would be the primary.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna miss him because
He's
he
done
puts
well.
up, he
Yeah.
puts an extraordinary amount of time into
It's that sewer thing. I just got bad feeling. It's probably just mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
it. Well, I'll look at the
It is-
administrative rules, we'll make sure it's done, yeah, I'm not gonna, yeah,
I
What
think
do you-
that's biohazard.
it may,
Now
it may
sludge.
be. It brings up the question of, what does the hospital do with like bandages and that sort of stuff?
They usually got a label on a separate bag and I think someone comes around, and picks them up at hospital.
Yeah.
someday.
Mhm.
That's why I don't think any of that, but this is different when it's just the plastic and
Yeah.
paper material.
But it was in with
Breaks
this.
out.
Yeah,
Breaks out and lands on the ground in front of the dump.
yeah,
Someone's
So-
flushing the applicator,
Yeah.
little buggers.
and everywhere around the world they do that, and, yeah, I'm not thinking.
I knew that. Debbie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know, like,
Well,
I remember like we were doing a project in Lewistown on their sewer deal and they had drying beds over. Once it dried out, they had
Mhm.
organic stuff, you know.
I'm
it
just
was-
kind of worried, you know, they're
Different
saying a
than
big thing.
coming
This
it out of the
is
sun.
factor and then it starts.
But you guys could have a rule like triple bagged or whatever, I mean, you guys would set that policy on the, yeah, make sure.
Just worried. I
But,
just-
yeah.
You know what Paul Coble used to call
I don't know.
them? He's calling them sewer mice.
The white, yep, the white mice.
Anyway, you're not getting my vote, so.
I just don't know if it's legal to do that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll do some digging.
Well, make sure with Ella,
Yeah.
boy, they had that, remember when that big mess happened?
Yeah.
But that was actual waste. People were actually,
Yeah.
I mean, go bury it,
And-
if you're gonna not
was
pay
there-
your water bill and.
There's a lot of things going through that they don't know about, which, yeah, yeah.
No.
Never
We don't know about.
Right. I just said that, I just knew that he probably couldn't change it.
I made a bigger mess than the diaper.
Little mustard and pea soup and all that.
We went down there and looked at that rest area after somebody made a mess the night before. We went in to see the new rest area and they threw it against the walls and they just were
Through,
peak of pigs.
yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, throw up here, under the meeting.
Oh. No lunch today, thanks.
Nope.
Blanche.
Well, that's a good diet plan.
We really got a few minutes here to look over this for our next one. Or do we OAC meeting?
Morning,
Morning.
how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Morning.
Come on up if you want. You can stay back there too. I'm on a social distance.
COVID was pretty awesome for you.
Nothing wrong with this social distancing.
It's like, this isn't possible. How are you?
I,
Good.
I think they're talking about saying, well, thanks.
I'm going away from you.
Or giving you hell. Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah, feels like a Monday, doesn't it?
Yeah. it's,
Thanks.
Thank you. This is the United for. Hey, this person, what's your name? Dawn. Dawn, nice to meet you. Dawn Brooke. Brooke, yeah. Ryan, you guys too much.
Yeah, me as a commissioner and Paul is blank.
Oh.
They have a blank behind you.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah. Yeah, I'm ready
The
to knock
commissioner in
it
training.
Yeah.
out. Just cross me off.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Well, we're a couple minutes early, but I think everybody's here. Please. It's here.
Come on up and look.
I said, I'm going to meeting.
It's probably actually working.
You might want to go downstairs and wake him up.
You just know.
I hear him pounding anyway, so stuff's going on.
They just got not long ago.
Oh, I didn't mean today, but yeah,
Oh.
or
Recently, yeah.
cracker on
I feel like I need
him.
Did you guys have a chance to go over the pay app for the last month?
What was that?
The pay app? The last month?
You guys haven't gone over that? I just wanted, did that get?
They have it,
They-
it's in there.
Okay.
Oh. Which one?
Yeah.
Yes.
How's it going?
Good, how are you guys this morning?
You made it.
You running around?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and start this out and leave us on.
Yeah. Around TCS Northwest. And some OAC update. Let's see, we got the elevator shaft. It's been the last 2 weeks getting that all reworked. We had to move some mounting brackets for the tracks and the hydraulic rams. So I had to take some drywall off and redo it all. So finally got that finished up last week, mounting steel plates on the wall today and tomorrow. That should be complete the elevator shaft until, we'll be scheduling the, train about 2 weeks. And they'll start dropping all the material in through the roof.
Wow.
And at that point, Otis will get another guy or two here and then they'll start going through and assembling all the fun parts of that end of it. They have, I'm skipping around here, sorry, but they do have, Otis has all the equipment in the mechanical room, hydraulic tanks, electronics. They've got the new conduit ran over into the elevator pit area. They got the sump pump hole in. So when Otis gets back, they'll start dropping in through the roof, put the tracks in, the hydraulic rams. And at that point, I'm gonna finish the second and third floor going into the entryways. I'm gonna get them really close, but I have to leave the basement and the fourth floor open for them to do whatever they need to do. So I'm gonna try kind of getting that second and third floor finished while those guys are fiddle farting around with their part of it. And what we've had to do here is, the cart, which is the platform for the elevator. So the special size elevator, so they didn't have a construction platform. Normally they bring a cart in that's just for construction, they put it in, do their construction and take it out and put the actual one in. This project, the actual cart's gonna have to go in, so they don't have a construction cart. So I've had to go through and build temporary walls on each floor to support the floor underneath it. And then once they get the hydraulics and the rams and the tracks all in, they'll put the cart in and get that cart running. And as what we'll do is go from the basement to the first floor, they'll just raise that cart right up and I'll cut the floor above it out.
I'm not
And then
running
they'll
now.
lower it down to the basement.
Oh, you can trust them.
It's just the best thing we found to do because they don't have a cart to build off of, so we're to remodel and we're added this kind of what we come up with Otis to try to save time and
Make it work.
make it work.
Good.
Yeah, so,
we can do.
yeah, it's kind of deal with one problem every day that comes up. Pretty much have the restrooms all up and operating. Alec, my helper's been, he hurt his knee, so he's been at the shop doing all the routering, sanding and staining on all the trim. Hopefully by the end of this week, first of next week, I'm gonna start on this floor here and get this floor all trimmed out and the rest of these doors on.
So
Oh,
this
they
is
got
where
the
you have to
elevator
widen
shaft.
that doorway and stuff. Is it just gonna be an entryway? Right here where on this floor here,
This floor here is gonna stay like that.
so the door isn't, I thought the door had to be wide.
The door, originally they wanted me to take the door out and turn it around,
Okay,
which swung the door over the staircase and the inspector said no. So we decided to leave it and
so you're not making it It looked like that, wasn't that what they were going to do?
No, we're just swinging in the wrong direction for weakness wise, so we just had it flip flop and just have
Okay.
something like you said, it went out over the stairs and so now. The inspector didn't like that either, so we're kind of just gonna leave it as is and then when he says something, we can kind of cross that bridge, but I guess. Until he
So
says
I
something.
wonder if the door even needs to be there, it would be better for it to be just an entryway.
We kind of need a door there because the stairs going up, it's a. Actually, to another floor, so around smoke, like if a fire happens.
Okay,
Yeah, good point.
Barrier to stop it from.
right, got it.
Okay, make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had to move the heater and a bunch of stuff in there to keep that opening as wide as we possibly could. And there's really no way to make the door bigger without getting into the staircase.
Don't
So,
want to start rebuilding all that.
Yeah, that should work, shouldn't it? I mean,
yeah, I mean, we're at the same width, pretty
yeah,
much there as we are under the rest.
yeah.
With some of the skinnier areas, you know, so.
Like in the jury room stairs, it's the same situation. It's narrow, but it's wide enough.
And it kind of works out that like, this floor isn't, you know, ADA accessible from the outside, so we don't have to worry about coming in from that stair. The ADA, we can get in from the basement and then bypass everything by using elevators. That was just kind of the, I want to call it workaround, but kind of the flow that we were.
Going off the plan, because we already had that set up down there, to
Yeah.
make it easier.
So yeah, then we got, the trims off the shop, and we've been working on it. A lot of it.
No, it's looking good. We're down with one.
Yeah, if you guys want, when you're done today, we can all do a walkthrough if you guys want, or. The other ones that you. Want to take a cruise.
Yeah, bathroom room, great.
Yeah.
They're great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're right there.
Oh, they're-
No, I
But
think.
yeah, with the elevator, is what, so they send out preliminary drawings. That our guys, our design team kind of goes off and build it. And they don't give you actual measurements. For us to go off of, they give us a general thing. So when Otis showed up and started pulling all their parts out, they had the actual drawings. They pulled it out, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right, and. Yeah, all the mounting locations were completely different, so I had to go through and tear it all open.
Why did they want to share it with you?
It's, you know, there's only a couple companies in the United States that build this stuff, and so they're really worried about people stealing information and using it, and
Wow.
it's actually, it's strange. We have the same issue with, heater units too.
They
Right.
do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We go through that with every elevator manufacturer, we're like, can we just get some preliminary stuff, just throw in there, and it's like pulling teeth. Just get
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it's anywhere, yeah, it's
Right.
like locations like that should be like, there's the tear the building apart. But we made it through it. Or as field observations. I think everything's going good now, I think we're on track. Larry's gonna put automatic light switches in all the bathrooms for me. Instead of having the light switches, that way they'll stay on for 10 minutes. When
Yeah.
somebody walks in there, the fans will stay
Good
on.
idea.
Motionless like we have
Yeah,
downstairs.
Yeah. Good.
And then upstairs, coming out of the elevator shaft after we got rid of the windows up there, it's pretty dark up there. So we talked about going about the two different ways. We could either do motion sensor lights, but the way the power's been ran now, we'd have to redo all the light fixtures and get motion sensor ones. That way, when somebody comes up the elevator and comes out, the light will be on. That right now, the light switch is all the way on the other side of the hallway,
Which floor are you talking about?
the third floor of the jury room.
Oh,
I want it to come on through that elevator hit so they can, it opens up and they can see where they're headed.
Well, so Larry recommended also, where those are, LED lights, really low wattage. Just getting rid of the light switch and putting a key light switch in there, so you just turn it on and basically just leave them on.
The lights.
That's what we've
last
done.
Longer when you don't turn them on.
Yeah.
The LED lights.
LED don't, they're not expensive, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we ended up doing at the drum and locker rooms, going down the staircases in the acts. It was too much work to get the three-way switches going in, so we just basically hardwired them at the top of the stairs where they stay on.
What do you think?
I like that idea.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And the switch will be a key, there'll still be like a light switch there, but there'll be a little key that goes in there that will turn it on and off. That you can turn it off if you wanted to, but.
Yeah, that would be.
Same as I got. at
Cool,
Jim's
just like,
school.
I got it here, here for
Yeah.
That way it just gets rid of our dark spot, you know?
Mhm.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I got it right here.
There, Blake.
Yeah.
And all the submittals and the RFIs are all up to date. Our offsite fabrication, just working on the trim, stuff like that over at the shopping hall. And then, like I said, I got this elevator pit done last week, or the shaftway, and get the plates mounted. Then I'm gonna start working in to get the trim, these doors finished up. Start here on the second floor and then for the next floor up, I guess, and then go from there. I think we got a jury trial coming up sometime soon. I'll have to get that.
Hopefully not.
And so, say, working on getting a crane scheduled for the second week of June. And so Reed's shutting down this road out here for the crane to set up. We're hoping to do it in one day. It might take 2 days. So we'll try to get it like a schedule on a Wednesday and a Thursday.
It'll totally shut down the road or just the one lane?
Probably just the one lane.
Yeah,
But
okay.
if people park on the other side, it's gonna make it.
Yeah, I'll probably get some cones set up to where nobody can park on the other side. So
People have to use the other side, we're just gonna have to, couple days, they can park somewhere else. I mean, we wanna make sure you got room, the crane starts moving and swinging around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of parts that go in through there. The way we have to do it now, since I had to leave those floors on, the crane operator's gonna have to set a part in, and then the elevator guys are gonna have to go in the hole and actually assemble everything while the crane holds onto it. And then they'll reach over and grab another part. Normally, they just set them all in there and the crane leaves.
They have to shut it down.
Where we gotta kind of use the
Yeah.
crane as our hoist.
For safety.
Maybe letting the neighbors know over the one, just one house there.
And just try not to have that happening when we have footprints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely try that. And I've also got, Ace is working on getting me a date to come up and fix the penetrations on all the new exhaust fans and the new doghouse for the elevator up there and get all that taken care of.
Hold on, I'm trying to hear this, we get too much going.
I'm trying to get Ace to bring the material over here when we have the crane here, so we sell the material on the roof with the crane. And then it's saving us a setup fee with those guys bringing their equipment down from, Butte. And that's about it. You guys got any questions for Brooke?
I guess we just gotta accept this change, or this is that lights thing.
Jury room floor, yeah.
Yeah, that corner's really dark.
Any emotion on this one for the life or?
I don't-
Is that a change order or
Yes.
yeah, then I do a motion.
Motion to accept the change order for the light, in the jury room.
Motion detector switches.
Or, no, the LED lights will be on all the time with the, what do you call it?
That's for the motion sensor for the 2 bathrooms.
Oh, that's a
and then-
different one. Oh,
And
okay.
then,
Oh, okay.
then the key, it's all, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have
Okay.
different one for the other.
Alright,
Yeah, this is just for,
Okay, no, second.
public comment. Being none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And did you guys have any questions or concerns or anything?
No, I guess that's when we get closer, we'll have to really see what we'll do to clean up, you know, I know it
Yeah,
ain't no sense of doing it 5 times, we'll just get down there and we'll figure out.
yeah, as we start getting some of these floors tidied up, we'll
That's
we'll
what
start
start
cleaning them out.
This is a pay request that after the meeting last week.
Yeah, that should.
We got, we got to look at.
one question, upstairs in the women's bathroom, the paper towels are right around in there when a person potentially could be hit with a door that's coming around? Or is there something to stop the door, or what, is there?
So we did get door stops. The door stops though mount on the wall, so that really kind of defeats our purpose there. So talk over with Seth today, I don't know, we might have to look at getting some type of stopper on the door. Well, it shouldn't open all the way now with the,
It doesn't open, yeah, so it
it's
doesn't
got
open.
this, once the shock thing's on it,
Oh,
it's gonna go all the way.
Alright,
What are you
good.
doing in the women's bathroom? Stay out.
I looked at it, but.
I thought the sign said.
Make sure that's in the minutes.
You know, he wasn't in there changing. no baby after.
Oh, you have to change the baby in the men's bathroom, that's good.
Been a lot of talk today and I'm done. So on this, application certificate for payment, what is it? I get mixed up on this.
It just got missed last month.
Yeah.
Because Sarah came in after the meeting last week and I was like, well, I can't make the decision though.
Yeah, I meant
For all
the
you guys to
email.
see it.
So motion to pay their claim for last
Yeah.
month, but, okay.
Yeah.
I thought
They
we
won't pay.
already did that.
It was a change order
We
that got
did the
accepted.
change order for the pit.
Huh.
But this one got missed.
Which
I
one?
remember seeing this.
Yancy?
I
I
just,
just had to double-
I just do a separate motion on just to clarify it.
Yeah.
No, this one got missed.
Yeah, I motion to accept the pay requests for 5/6/25.
The period 4/1 through 4/30.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
thanks, that's all I can find there.
What?
I was just reading it, hey,
Oh,
Pay request for April,
for how much? 49?
That's great. So, let me glasses on here. Yeah, so the total would be $49,923.61.
And we didn't approve this before?
Mm-mm.
Thought we did.
see, and I thought we did,
we missed it.
I thought we
my
did.
bad.
I'd still do the motion, just to
Okay.
clarify.
I second it.
Public comment?
Guys, review that one under.
Yes.
signature. Okay, I didn't
It's-
know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Any other public comment on this?
So, just one question on that amount that you're asking for, and then number 11 is the balance still owing the 275, 834.91.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Cat.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're good.
We're even with you.
Yeah,
Sorry we missed that.
Yeah, sorry, you guys.
It's okay.
Sorry, my inbox.
There is nothing to sign, we just approve this, right?
Correct. The change orders have to be signed by you guys, but the pay applications are signed by you guys.
Yeah.
Did you have anything for these guys, Seth? Oh, we're done, you're good?
Yeah. Couple minutes since we, OAC meeting or review, so we'll get you.
I just walked through and looked, I thought all was good. You guys wanna go for a walk with them, you can, I did. We went down with it some,
Yeah, last week.
two weeks ago.
Starting to come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's slow where it seems like it's slow, nothing happens, but. Start
Way-
all tying together now.
Finally get to see the eye candy now, right?
Yeah,
Lady.
yep.
Thanks.
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
You bet.
thanks, good
You guys
job.
have anything, let me know.
Thanks, Bert.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Did you want a warrant today for that? I think we'd go ahead, being we missed it, have them make a warrant. for
It would
it.
be nice.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I nominate Blanche to go ask him.
Yeah, just have,
Good, I can sign it.
Yeah. just say, do you want her maybe? Sorry. You get a lot again.
Yeah. It was like, sir, like, can you just, okay, this, like, sign it, I was like, go for 50 grand.
Yeah.
There should probably look.
Yeah, good, smart move.
Like, let's just put on an agenda for 2.
Yeah.
You could have adjourned this first.
Yeah, I could have. He wants to talk to you, I guess.
Are they doing a fare thee well for
What you need?
Janine
It's supposed to be,
today?
supposed to,
Oh.
Today, your last day.
yeah, no,
Oh.
well, no, this Friday.
But they're
is-
doing food?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing.
Today?
Yeah, I texted you guys last week.
I know.
I'll hear you.
I saw it.
What time is it?
I don't know. It kind of fell
Well,
on that, but I,
one-
it's
someone
not available. so.
Said kind of potluck and then someone said just cake or something.
Oh,
What's going on?
I think cake and
Okay,
snacks,
just
bacon.
yeah, easy.
in the
I don't think it's.
break room.
Do they do that out of the pop fund or what do they do it out of? They do that. Didn't they? Point to that?
Well,
in the
that's
pop
what
fund?
they used to do,
Yeah,
but I know
Maybe.
Teresa asked if commissioner would pay for it. I said, I don't know. But it should come out of their pop fund.
unless they're not getting enough, but it should be a,
Yeah. I don't-
Yeah.
Did somebody order a cake? Then a cake was ordered.
Becky on it.
Vicky got it, so. Tell her to go get the money from Noel. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I've eaten too much cake here lately.
Graduation.
Yeah,
Got a puzzle going on
I'm
here.
just looking at all the stuff that Chuck left here.
I know. I
any
didn't clean it up.
valuables?
There's a screwdriver I gave to her.
He's on the dirt. Yes, he did.
Probably left by Bart.
Yeah, it's probably been several commissioners. Oh, there's more in there than you think.
Yeah, when I cleaned on Friday, I did not touch those.
Definitely won't need a paper clip for a while.
Yeah,
We give them all to Miranda.
yeah, I do. I have not, so I always look at it.
Alrighty, got that took care. I guess we can go ahead and adjourn. Got everything done.
So I kinda said, like, could have adjourned us before he left.